All right. Hello, people of the internet. Hello, travelers and friends and countrymen and all that fucking shit. How y'all doing tonight?
What's up? What is it? Friends, Romans, countrymen.
Yeah, but I didn't want to quote it exactly.
Lend me your ear.
Lend me your ear, and then they fucking all like,
physical ear.
and then they just like rip off their ears and throw it at you. Fucking what movie was that? Was it that was a Mel Brooks movie, right?
Mel Brooks.
Was that History of the World?
I think it was.
I think it was. Yes.
History of the World.
I think that was History of the Part 1.
Part 1.
It was.
Did they finally make a part 2?
Yes, they did.
I haven't seen part 2.
It was on Hulu. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't the same.
okay.
You know,
Well, yeah, because Mel Brooks has to tone himself down because people are like, you know.
and the world,
Yeah.
and he has to put modern comedy actors in it, which
Rip.
whatever, but it's just like not the same.
Anyway, hi. We totally just like dived into that one without introducing ourselves. It is Scarlett here at the Phoenix Gate in the Phoenix Nest. You know.
we're actually all in the nest for once together.
Yes. And obviously I'm here with the wonderful Jade Phoenix and the wonderful Lavender.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
How y'all doing?
Hooray!
We're all here.
We're all here.
The podcast cats are here, too.
We're all
The
here.
pod kitties are here. I feel blessed. I am just very happy to also be eating ice cream.
Yeah.
You know, we really felt we deserved it.
We, had a very disappointing day.
We did.
And my phone agrees.
But,
phone
you know,
agrees to take
so
that
we
depression.
had ice cream, and I was like, you know what? So I am just, like, happy as a clam right now, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So we were supposed to have our interview with William Russell.
Yeah.
And I had everything set up. Everything was good to go. We were all here. Everything was on point.
Set it up for video.
My internet went out.
Yep.
And it has not come back.
No.
The internet just decided to yeet itself into the stratosphere.
Fucking Spectrum. Fuck you.
Dear Spectrum,
Just-
this is why you can't charge people the crazy amount of money you charge people, and then you have outages like every other day. Please and thanks.
I want everyone to know that Spectrum can suck my left titty and make the right one jealous, because you have now destroyed me not once, but twice. Because this is the second time that we have had to reschedule this fucking interview. Fuck you.
We really love you, though, William.
We love William, but not Spectrum. Fuck Spectrum. Okay, I'm off my high horse now. Bye.
Wait, so can I ask you guys like a genuine question?
Yeah.
Is Spectrum like your only option out here?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
That's why I was
Yo.
complaining in our... So we have our own Nest chat, so to say. Would that mean that we're tweeting?
Well, Twitter's dead, so.
Yeah.
It's X now.
We can be the new Twitter. But, you know, I was tweetering about
Tweeting?
Spectrum. But that's what I mean. Like, it's the only thing over here because they lay down the lines.
That's
and then
wild.
they purposely do it because they
like-
all have different monopolies all over. It's a little different on Long Island. Like, you
Yeah,
have
no,
a few
Long
more
Island, we have options.
Like here,
we
they're
have-
like, no, we're trapping you so that you're forced to pay these insane prices with subpar quality.
No, that's insane because, like, Long Island, you have options.
No, see, here's the thing.
So I'm stressy depressy.
So Fios did come in and they did want to put us in the network. The problem
Right.
is we have to have 100% of the block that I live on in and agree.
Oh, that's fucking annoying.
Because then that means that like they can come in, like the stuff's installed, it's all here. It's just they have to have the ability to connect.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And unfortunately, one of my neighbors does not speak English.
Oh no.
So they're trying to explain to this woman, like, hey, you know, this is what we want to do. She go, no, thank you.
Oh, no.
No, I do not. No. And I'm just sitting there going,
Please.
she doesn't speak English, bro. Because this is my next door neighbor. And she doesn't speak English. And there's not, like, you can't, you got anybody that speaks Italian maybe? Or Sicilian that can come here? And they're like, no. I'm like, do you have a translator that you can call?
Has anyone tried speaking Spanish to her?
She's Sicilian.
So Sicilian and Spanish are actually not okay. Well, according to my dad, but my dad's also stupid. So But
Not
because-
the same.
Yeah, no, because my dad has actually communicated with someone who is Sicilian and just in Spanish, and they were able to communicate fine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Italian and Spanish are very close. I know because I can speak Spanish, even though I am Italian, which is funny. You can
makes sense.
there's a lot of overlap, but there it is not the same language, and I don't think I don't think the old woman.
She old? Yeah, no, that ain't
She
gonna work.
old.
Yeah, she old.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, and like basically because of her, we don't have FiOS.
You're trapped.
We're trapped with Spectrum.
Yeah, like it's the same
man.
way with the apartment buildings because they all are kind of, I hate to say like in cahoots, but essentially in cahoots with each other. And a lot of these apartment buildings, like the one that I live in, is pre-war.
Yeah.
So they don't want any unnecessary, quote unquote, added in like Spectrum coming in and Verizon coming in and hooking stuff up and them needing to change things because it becomes a hole. I mean, there was literally a hole in my roof above the plaster. Like my building is essentially falling apart. So I don't think they ever want to test fate and have anyone poke around in there.
Probably not. But like, trust me, where I used to live, I had options.
Yeah.
I could have had FiOS, I could have had Spectrum in my old building. Oh, I miss that apartment so bad.
Right.
But here, you do not have any fucking options.
So
They're
the
like, too
farther in the
bad.
Queens you go, the less options you have.
Correct.
Good to know. I'll
Same
keep
with
that in mind.
Manhattan. Like Manhattan, they make it very, very limited to. Anybody else remember Limited 2?
Oh, God.
I used to love Limited 2. I really thought I was the coolest kid on the block. But you know, it's really a horror needing to deal with these Wi-Fi companies, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just it's so annoying because it's like it makes us look so unprofessional because I'm reliant on things that are out of my control.
Exactly. But
That's like the fucking struggle. And that's honestly a fucking struggle I've been dealing with all day, too. So I feel you.
real, because it's like, look, we understand and we love that William has been so wonderful.
Yes,
and
thank you,
flexible,
William.
and just a joy to talk to
You're
and
such a
making
classy
it
dude.
so easy. But like, because the reality is we can't change it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't still make us feel like we deserved ice cream afterwards because it fucking sucks.
It's just very upsetting.
Makes things suck more when you can't control them.
It's like last week we had the freaking technical issue.
Yeah,
and then
Zoom. Zoom. Sorry. Zoom.
And then this week it was the internet. It's like, what's gonna happen next time? Stay tuned.
This week,
I'm going to knock on wood right now so we don't tempt the fate. So, hi, Eclipse.
Where's the clip?
On the stairs.
There's
He
a
came
clip
down,
up
then
there
he went back up.
too.
Sorry. Just like I saw a cat and I had to acknowledge
doesn't?
it.
I'm
Love
not
acknowledging
complaining
cats.
about like this is the pod kitty cats. Like I mean, you have a Rocky sitting behind you.
I do?
You
Oh,
do.
shit.
Yeah, there he is.
You have been blessed by the orange.
I think maybe he's starting to,
empty,
forgive
vacant
me
look.
for adopting an orange of my own.
Nah.
Rocky is no longer the only orange cat in my life. I have an orange boy named Ravioli. He is a fucking unit. He is a chunk.
He is a truck.
He is. He's also stupid.
He's
I love
also
him so
stupid.
much. He's such a sweet cat, but he's so dumb.
So stupid. But orange
love
cats all share the same brain cells, so it's fine.
They just toss it between each other.
They really do.
Rocky was definitely mad at me earlier because he's like, "You whore! There's another orange in your life." Boo. Boo. Yeah. So that's fun.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Rocky's fine.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
He's sitting near me, so I think that's as close as I'll get to forgiveness for tonight.
I think
Pretty
so.
much.
I mean, he has a happy little face on.
He does
I
have
think
the
he has a happy,
cutest
happy
little
little
face.
face.
He really does, though.
So it'll be fine.
As I'm answering work emails for the gate
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
while on the cast right now, because once again, because we have no internet, I'm getting everything
Delayed.
delayed, and a lot of these things that are coming through are important because 2025 is going to be huge for the Phoenix Gate.
oh yes,
yeah,
it
it
is.
We're already on the books for at least 10 shows. Minimum. Nice.
I'm just so excited because we're going to see our friends at Undiscovered again.
Yes, Undiscovered Realm. We are coming back, and we
Can't
loved
wait.
it.
I loved everyone involved in that show.
Definitely want to go back to Hudson Horror.
Hudson Valley Horror Fest was so fun.
We would love to
to
do
go
Hudson
back.
Valley again, and we had so much fun doing the live panel. Hopefully, we can do another live panel soon. Like that was so
I have
enjoyable.
ideas for another live panel.
Exactly.
I already have ideas.
So we got to get on that.
We will. The problem is a lot of places don't have everything scheduled yet.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean we're not even in December yet.
No,
I
we're
know.
in mid-November.
Yeah.
You see, I'm one of the few in the nest that has already started, like, transitioning. I'm already like getting ready
Be careful
for winter
what you say that. And
time.
Be careful. You
I know.
You don't want to. You don't want to upset.
Whoa.
Don't want to upset the cult, bro.
No, I don't.
no.
I really don't. I have enough on my plate. I have enough on my plate. I don't need that. But it's already Christmas in my apartment. So,
It's not time yet.
but look, like ghosts are just as spooky in the winter, if not spookier.
Thanksgiving deserves its fair shake of a tail feather, dude.
Look, I actually love Thanksgiving. It is one of my favorite holidays. I just can't find Thanksgiving decorations I like. Like, if I could find Thanksgiving decorations, y'all can bet your asses that I would have a full Thanksgiving display in my apartment right now.
I mean, at this point, I just celebrate Friendsgiving and Fucksgiving, which is Friendsgiving, obviously,
hosted by me.
yes, hang out with my friends, celebrate that way. And then Fucksgiving is what I call Thanksgiving because I just don't give a fuck anymore.
Yep.
Fair. And I'll probably just
I just want an
Be
excuse
at home
to
again.
eat. I just want an excuse to like eat food and be amongst my
Fair.
people.
I feel the same way. I love a good, I'm just secretly a middle-aged mom that should be living in the suburbs because I want to be able to host
Well, you do live in the suburbs.
yes and no.
You do. You live in the suburbs. This is the suburbia. Just
it
because you're not
doesn't-
in a house, it doesn't mean you ain't in suburbia.
I feel like that's what I get sometimes. I feel like if I had a bigger space, I would feel more like I was in suburbia. But because I don't, I feel like I'm very much confined. But I do just have that middle-aged mom mentality of being in New England and having 25 people over my house.
oh god.
Specifically only 25. And if you don't make the cut, then too bad.
I mean,
It's like a MySpace top 10, except it's 25 invited over to Lavender's house.
Exactly. That's all I
Basically.
want.
I never had MySpace. Is that how this works?
I have a Christmas village. I might as well develop a Thanksgiving village. I could be the next great idea.
oh my god. Anyways,
yeah. Oh, we have we've gone all over the fucking place, haven't we?
Yeah.
Welcome to the brains of 3 people with ADHD, among
Right.
other
Yeah.
things.
it's true.
Correct.
It's true. As I answer now all the text messages that are flooding into my phone.
Fucking rip.
But yeah, I think that ghosts are just as spooky
I
during the pre-winter time. I mean, Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I mean, Muppet
Ghost
Christmas
story.
Carol.
All right, that's fair because it is the only Christmas Carol that I acknowledge.
Oh, Muppets?
I do love Muppets
Fuck
Christmas
yeah.
Carol. Okay, Muppets Christmas Carol
It's the best.
And Scrooged. I love Scrooge. Not the version with Bill Murray that everyone thinks I'm talking about. There is a specific Christmas Carol called Scrooged that
I
my
like
mom-
Scrooged. Okay, the
Bill
Bill
Murray
Murray.
one?
No,
I do
not that
appreciate
one.
that one.
It's a really old one. It was a made-for-TV movie. My mom was obsessed with it, and she had it on videotape. It was the classic Christmas Carol. It wasn't the one with Bill Murray. It was a really famous British theater actor too.
Michael Caine.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a Christmas Carol.
Yeah, but it wasn't a Christmas Carol. It was called Scrooge or something.
No, Michael Caine was in the Muppet one.
Michael Caine was in the Muppet one.
He
You're
was.
right.
So I'm getting the actors confused, but once we have inner nest discussions, I will find that one specifically.
Sorry, I just sorry, small tangent. Has anyone seen that meme where it's Muppet Christmas Carol works so well because Michael Caine treats the Muppets like fellow actors?
because they are.
And
Because
Muppet
they
Treasure
are.
Island works so well because Tim Curry treats himself like a fellow Muppet.
Yes. he is.
It's my favorite meme.
It is. It is.
I love it.
It's my favorite thing in the entire world.
We have ADHD sidebarred so much.
But yes,
We have. So
kind
we should,
of, but
we
yeah.
should probably get back.
We're getting back to ghosts.
Spoopy.
Spoopy. What are we talking about, Scarlett?
Oh yeah, so we're gonna go out to my neck of the woods, fucking Long Island. Ew. yeah, roast me all you want. So anyway, y'all voted for topics for us to talk about in October, and here we are fulfilling our promises. And one of those was the Amityville Horror House.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh yeah, I heard that spooky sound effect.
Zelda.
It's Zelda?
That's Zelda.
I've never played a Zelda game.
I'm gonna kill you.
Scarlett, come on. You would actually enjoy Zelda. That's why that is so disappointing to hear.
I don't know, man. I never got into it.
It's okay. There are plenty of games that I haven't gotten
I'm
into.
getting judgment stares from fucking Jade over here.
So much judgment.
It's okay.
Yes.
Judge me all you want. I mean, I judged you last week, so it's fine.
You did. Fuck.
Fucking Zach Braff.
He's hot though.
No,
And
it's not.
Did you know that they
Yes,
actually?
he is.
No, it's not.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
It gets even better. Do you know who they named as the people's
John
sexiest man
Krasinski.
alive?
Oh, yeah, John Krasinski. And I'm like, really?
It's
Y'all,
Yes.
he's hot.
he's hot.
The
people have spoken.
Here's the thing, like, he's cute.
He's
But he's not, like,
hot.
hot. I wouldn't call him sexy. But also,
think he's
He's the
Sexy.
sexiest man alive.
no, but here's also the other thing. So Cam and I are a John Krasinski not appreciation household.
Why?
Is it because of the when he played?
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
He got Cam's homie Charles killed. So, yeah, Cam is a, obviously-
hater.
No, Cam is a big X-Men fan, was super happy to see fucking Charles Xavier back, and then he gets fucking capped by Wanda because fucking John Krasinski has to spill the fucking, beans on the plan and shit. So, fuck you, Reed Richards.
Well, it's not John Krasinski's fault.
But he played him, so he's kind of guilty by association.
No.
So, it's gonna, I can't wait to see his
Not
fucking
how
reaction.
this works.
But I do think John is hot. That is
I
just my
can't,
opinion.
I can't
think,
see it.
I think he's a very beautiful, pretty man
He's like cute.
He's married to Emily Blunt,
who's also a
here's the
beautiful
thing.
woman.
Emily Blunt is hot.
and he bagged her.
Good for him. But that's also the same meme as like me and like the hot babe I bagged by being goofy.
Hence why he is the sexiest man alive.
Again, he's
humor
just goofy.
counts. I would know.
That is true. You would.
I don't know. I also, again, like we also know my fucking top 3 hall passes. So.
Yeah, we did speak of this.
This is true.
We did speak of this, but we are also talking spoopy shit. So we should.
Oh my
probably
god,
talk
I cannot
spoopy
fucking
shit.
focus. Hello.
No, it's
It's
okay.
because all that sugar in your veins.
Plus,
from
it's
the
been
ice
it's just
cream.
been a wild day. We were expecting to come in here doing something else, and now we're doing something completely other
Well,
than
the
that something
Phoenix
else.
Gate isn't nothing if we're not adaptable.
Exactly. I think we're very flexible.
So I mean,
Yeah.
we covered the Amityville
Once
horror.
before,
We did
right?
talk about
We
it a little
covered
bit
it.
in our
episode. I think 112, where we spoke about the
We
spoopy
spoke-
shit, the
yeah.
legends of New York and stuff.
Yes,
shit in
yes.
New York. So yes, we did talk about it
We
a little
did
bit.
talk about that.
But now we're gonna like talk more about it.
Deep dive.
Again, a lot of y'all know the story already, but we're gonna tell it again, and also, some other fun anecdotes and shit.
That's right.
Again,
Do it.
Tell us.
my parents do. I do think it's funny how my parents are shocked that I came out the way I did. Meanwhile, y'all literally got married right, like y'all were literally married like right across the street from the fucking Amityville Horror House.
I mean, hello.
Okay.
Why?
Exactly. Why are we surprised?
Why are we surprised that I'm like this? Anyway, so what actually did happen at the Amityville Horror House? Why is it so fucking spooky? Is it, ghosts of, from like an awful murder? Is there like demons and shit like the fucking Warrens say? Or is it just or is it a family that didn't want to pay a bunch of fucking property taxes? Who knows? Let's find out. Or not. I don't know. It's a fucking mystery. It's a New York legend. Anyway.
Anyways, so we're talking about the house at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville. After George and Kathleen Lutz bought the house after the DeFeo murders.
Yes. So let's backtrack a little bit. Before the Lutzes bought the house, on the night of November 13th, 1974, which actually, shit, dude, that's today.
I know.
That is
Look at
50 years ago today. That's fucked.
We are literally doing this on the 50th anniversary. You think I didn't plan this?
That's fucking wild.
I was
didn't
gonna
even
say,
think of that.
maybe that's why the internet pooped out.
Because
It's
the
like-
Amityville Horror House is extending its claws all the way here because the fucking shit that lives inside that motherfucker is probably like, you will talk about me.
You will.
Fuck you.
Actually, I would like to blame Chucky because Chucky. I want to blame Chucky instead, okay?
Why?
Because Chucky had to make fun of the Amityville Horror House, and honestly, Chucky's here for the gays, and we are among the gays.
You're not wrong.
Chucky wants us to talk about Amityville Horror. But also Chucky got canceled, so like, rip. So we have to keep Chucky's legend alive. But they're going to make movies and stuff, so I think it was like part of it.
They are. I totally believe that they're going to make the movies because they have been for so long.
Anyway, so...
Happy 50th anniversary to the horror.
Happy 50th anniversary, and honestly, like, rest in peace to the DeFeo family, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, let's, you know, not to be all, like, somber and shit, but, like, let's just take a moment, like, you know, this legend kind of, I don't want to say it, like, spiraled, but, like, it grew into something that obviously is, you know, persisted for, like, 50 years, and it's something that we still talk about, something that spawned books, movies.
What the fuck? There is literally nothing over there that just fell
shit.
down. All right, listen, whatever's living in my house right now, you're not invited. Get the fuck out. I will light sage. Or juniper. I'll both. Fuck off. That's what I thought.
Please, I go out of my way to stay out of haunted places.
I'm really
Oh,
just...
no, my house is definitely haunted. That's why I laugh whenever you say that, because my house is haunted.
I've literally seen ghosts here. But,
As long as they don't follow me
I'm
home.
on it, but no, I do want to say, like,
they're bound here.
you know, but I am, you know, just... But the point I was trying to make is, you know, like, I do just want to pay respects to the spirits of the DeFeo family who were unfortunately murdered. You know, just take a moment to acknowledge that there were, like, actual fucking human lives lost.
No, exactly.
You know.
6 people.
Yeah.
And that's the
including kids.
Yeah,
which is
that's
really
what's
sad.
really upsetting.
Well, 7 if you count the fact that DeFeo died in March of 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In prison.
Well, I mean, he died in prison. He didn't die in the house. But
Still died.
yeah, I mean, yeah, he
I
died.
will say, if you need like a good, like not to say that you need a visual, but if you don't want to necessarily watch many of the documentaries that are out there, but want a visual of just how heartbreaking this whole situation is they actually do a recreation of the scene in The Conjuring 2. And I still think it's one of the most like haunting scenes in that film series.
Yeah, oh yeah, because they do touch on Amityville in The Conjuring too.
They
They don't
do.
like go into it.
We'll go a little
'Cause,
bit into Lorraine.
Yeah,
and
well,
Ed
we do
later.
touch on the Warrens because they were there, and
Exactly.
I think I've touched on how I feel about the Warrens.
Touch.
I don't. Yeah, you know, keep your fucking hands off of, you know, people that aren't your wife. Anyway, sorry, just Ed was kind of sketchy. Lorraine may have known about it. Just not cool stuff, guys.
I like fictional Ed and Lorraine, and I think that's okay as long as you can like separate that the real Ed and Lorraine are not Vera and Patrick Wilson, Ed and Lorraine.
Yeah. And also, like, when you actually look up some terms of the contract for the movie made with Lorraine Warren. I'm getting an inquisitive look from Jade over here. Part of the terms of the contract for when they made the Conjuring movies, you know, that like agreement with Lorraine Warren, I have to look up the exact like wording, but basically there could not be any mention of extramarital affairs or anything with Ed sleeping with someone like who was underage at the time.
Well,
Because he did in real life
I didn't know
have
that.
an affair with a girl who was a teenager. Who was underage, and she may or may not have gotten pregnant with his kid.
God.
May or may not have been sent to have an abortion because of that. Yeah, it's fucked. And Lorraine, and also keep in mind, she was living with the family. She was living with the Warrens. And also, Lorraine probably knew about what was going on.
And this is why I like fictional Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah, anyway, I'm jumping ahead.
Happily married.
Anyway, I'm very much jumping ahead.
Very in love.
Anyway, the year on November 13th, 1974, Ronald J. DeFeo Jr. murdered his parents and his 4 siblings while they were asleep in bed. And yeah, it's I don't want to get
very
too
upsetting.
into the graphic nature of
Get
it.
into it. Fuck it. It's the Feinics Gate. We are nothing more if not transparent and graphic.
Yeah, so, you know, he murdered everyone using a .35 caliber Marlin rifle.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yummy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this article I have doesn't, you know, go too deep
It's
into
not going to. I mean, it doesn't
yeah.
go. It doesn't go too deep.
I know plenty of people that fit that description.
I mean, seriously, like,
Plenty.
I mean,
But like, but then again, it's like, listen, you can find all the gory details online if you want to.
seriously,
Yeah.
we used to have a website called Faces of Death, and I'm sure that they were on there.
Oh, they absolutely were.
And I would really suggest, if you are interested in learning more about the DeFeo murders, I would really suggest you go to the ID channel. And it would be on Discovery Plus, I believe. They've done quite a few very tastefully done documentaries about the case. And part of the reason that this case was so controversial to then what would eventually come into what the Amityville Horror House would become goes along with the idea of if Ronald was being spoken to and controlled by demons and or supernatural forces.
Yeah.
There
was some of that going on, but to make a long story short, after the murders, he was obviously arrested. He was put on trial for the murders, and he was found guilty, sentenced to 6 counts of 25 years to life. He died in prison on March 12th of 2021.
Oh man, 2 days before my birthday.
Oh, that's kind of fucked.
Yeah, a little bit.
Don't rest peacefully, Ronald.
Well, wherever he is, it is not here. So
Bye.
Yeah,
essentially not our problem.
he's feeling whatever went on in his living life, in his afterlife.
Yeah. And then fast forward, so 13 months after the murders, the Lutz family purchased the home at a much lower price than usual.
80 grand.
80 grand, which I wish I could own a house for 80 grand.
Dude, you can't even get a fucking condo for 80 grand.
It's
Dude,
insane.
I work in real estate. I have seen condo prices and I want to fucking cry.
right? Hello.
Like, why am I seeing condos for like fucking $1 million now?
It's so gross.
I'm literally seeing $1 million condos that are not even that nice. Why am I paying $1 million for a fucking 1-bathroom condo? Yeah.
Big mood, honey.
Yeah, no.
It was a Dutch colonial too, and those things are not cheap.
No, because they're
Dutch
like
colonials are
historic
also
style houses.
cursed.
I like them though.
They are beautiful. I do love them as well.
Dutch colonials are cursed. If you ask Chucky, they're cursed.
I mean, Chucky would know.
He
Of all
would.
people, Chucky would know.
Chucky would know.
But, I do imagine myself as like a suburban middle-aged mom. So, understandably, I love a good Dutch colonial.
I like a good regular colonial.
I do love a good regular colonial as well.
I'm partial. I live in a colonial. Anyway, so 13 months after the murders, the Lutz family moves in, but they don't last very long. They barely make it a month. They last 28 days, which I guess is a month if it's February on not a leap year.
Very, very solidified specifics.
It's a February. So they lasted a February, but they didn't they didn't move in February.
No.
So it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're talking about like this house had 5 bedrooms, Dutch colonial style, distinctive, like the gambrel roof, which is like
the windows.
The windows. It also had a swimming pool and a boathouse because it was located on the fucking water.
Yeah. Do you know how expensive houses on the fucking water are?
1.5 is the minimum that you're going to find a house on the water
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
This isn't, I mean, we're talking also 1975 where like that was probably also, while it was considered under the asking price,
Still a
it was
little
probably
steep.
still steep back then.
Yeah, but like I think there was definitely a steal though.
Yeah, oh for sure, because the real estate broker had to tell them about the DeFeo murders. You have to tell them.
I don't know if they had to tell them back then,
But
but
the real estate broker did and
Yeah.
said, "Is this going to affect your decision?" Like, hey, this house was a scene of a very vicious murder. Like
just
do
so
you
you
still
know.
want it?
yeah,
Like, I
that's
think-
gonna be a fun conversation.
I think essentially the rule is if it doesn't come up, quote unquote, you can't be held liable for not bringing it up.
I don't really know about that kind of law anymore.
Right?
I think
like
I know
I know if
some
they
pla-
ask, you need to tell them.
I know some places wanted to make it a law that if a house is haunted, you have to tell them.
Yeah, but
I don't know if that one ever went through.
I don't think it
I
did
don't think
because
so.
it's like people are skeptical and they don't really know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so sorry.
But yeah,
Anyways, Anyways, so like they decided they were gonna buy it. Like they said, all right, fuck it, no problem.
I mean, how could
Ghost?
you not?
Fine.
Like,
But that's the thing is that they said that there was a murder. They never said anything about being haunted.
True.
right. But then again, if no one lived there, who was there to get haunted?
The spiders.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe the spiders
Well, there was a bunch of
were-
flies supposedly, which
yeah, tell us
Yeah,
about
no.
that.
Then they needed those spiders.
well, the spiders needed the
We're all,
flies.
they were all scared away.
Yes. So
Why, oh, why did she swallow
this
the
is.
fly? I guess she'll die.
Oh, that's a throwback.
Exactly. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
I will say I'm very excited that you knew that reference.
I didn't know that one. But
Oh,
yeah.
no, you actually knew a reference.
I know, wild concept. I do know things. Sometimes I take edibles and I know things.
But so tell us about these flies. Why was this
Oh,
so
I think
disturbing?
we're getting ahead of each other.
Yeah, there's a lot because the flies kind of came a little later. But
Okay.
there was a lot of freaky shit that happened in this house allegedly.
Allegedly.
And there's a reason I say allegedly, but we can get
We
into
can
that.
get into that.
We
right?
can, why don't you say why we say allegedly before we go into
Okay.
like what actually happened?
So the reason we say allegedly is because one of the theories surrounding why the Lutz family decided to leave is because of the high property taxes.
Okay.
They did not want to have to. They bought the house for a steal, and they thought, "Oh, it's gonna be fine." But then, like, oh fuck, the taxes were ridiculous.
Makes sense.
And I don't know. I guess they were like, "How do we get out of fucking paying this shit?" Oh, let's just use the fact that people got fucking murdered here as an, to be like, "Hey, this place is haunted as shit. It's unlivable. We can't live here." Because here's the thing. Pretty much, like, the majority of other families that have moved in there after the fact have not reported the same paranormal activity. If any at all. Like, maybe, like, I don't think anyone else has really reported anything.
Well, even if it has, there may have also been like a reason why it doesn't get to the mainstream people because the house became such a freaking
Oh, it became a tourist attraction.
became a tourist. Yeah, because it became such a tourist attraction, and people were like, people. Let's call a spade. People are fucking assholes, and were
Agreed.
probably like harassing the people that were living in there and all sorts of other fucking shit. So they probably, even if crazy shit is going on, they're not going to see anything because they don't want people coming to the house.
No,
they
that's
don't
true.
even have the numbers on the house anymore.
Yeah, no, they actually changed the address.
They changed the address.
And you could, if you really want to know, you can find it online. I'm not going to tell you out of respect for the people living there.
Yep, because people do live there. They
Yeah.
even changed the iconic windows.
Yeah, they changed the iconic windows.
Everything.
Because
No, good.
because there's people that live there that want to be left alone, and they will tell you they
Exactly.
don't experience any paranormal activity. Whether they do or don't is, at the end of the day, it's their business.
I mean, fuck. They did the same thing to the people that lived in the Breaking Bad house.
Yeah.
They were basically trying to like drive them out. Like to the point that the creator of the show, Vince Gilligan, was like, you need to stop this. Like it was just used as a set. Like leave them alone. It's
So
crazy the way people, that toxic parasocial relationship people build
Nah, I'm
around
good.
things. I'm good.
Yeah.
Good. It's the same way, like
Also, y'all should be going to like South Carolina because that's where they actually filmed the movies.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like, go visit like a soundstage. Go support your favorite like local film sets. Like
Yeah.
you can visit it in Georgia. Georgia has all the different film sets
That's
you can
because
visit.
that's where everybody films now. Is
Exactly.
Georgia.
Like, do that. Don't be creepy and hang out
Basically.
somebody outside of someone's actual fucking house. Please and thanks.
Yeah. So that's why we say allegedly. But now let's get into the meat and potatoes.
There was also a little bit more about
Oh,
the
okay.
allegedly because
okay.
yeah. So the other thing is in 1979, the Lutz's former lawyer William Weber, who eventually had a falling out with the family due to financial issues.
I wonder why.
Yeah, right. He would claim that George and Kathy Lutz came up with that horror story after having a few drinks, in his words, over many bottles of wine.
Oh God.
Yeah. However, there are the kids of the Lutz family who claimed like, yeah, no, there was some shit happening and the fucking haunting ruined my life.
I mean, who else
So-
wants an excuse for having bad behavior?
But also like the kids are gonna defend the parents.
Maybe.
Depends.
Yes and no. It's actually a very
Yeah.
fickle thing with that. I would be more apt to believe the children over the parents because they were so young. I sometimes will trust children's accounts over parents'
Well,
accounts.
The other
kids
thing is,
that-
though,
when
kids
they-
are also impressionable.
Right. Remember,
Yeah.
we're talking about a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
They could very
don't
easily
know.
be coached. And
exactly.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know, because, like, seriously, if I'm sitting there and I'm telling a child, this is what it is, they're going to believe me.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's why so many kids, you know, believe when they meet Santa at the mall, you know, or the Easter Bunny.
The other thing
Or
is,
when they meet their favorite characters at Disney.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, absolutely.
and the other thing is, like, if a kid doesn't comprehend something that's going on,
They're going to think whatever it is that their parents are telling them is true.
yeah.
exactly, you know, or like if they don't, you know, like there's a lot of things that like as a kid you wouldn't comprehend as like a normal thing happening, right? Like, you know, what's a big one? You know, like the house shakes because of
A train.
Yeah, because of a train. A kid wouldn't think of that.
No, a kid automatically thinks earthquake.
Yeah.
Or something's rumbling.
I thought it was UFOs.
Right. No, but that's the thing. Like, a kid doesn't comprehend that idea of like, oh, the train causes the house to rumble.
Yeah, they don't put
So-
2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Right. So they're gonna be like, oh, ghost.
Right. Like, okay.
The ghost
I don't
makes my
like-
house shake.
I don't like the scary basement. Therefore, there's got to be a monster in it.
Exactly. And if
Yeah,
they're
like
being
in
encouraged
Home
by their
Alone.
parents to be like, oh, the house is haunted, that's just gonna encourage
Right.
that. And
That's
they're never
true.
gonna. I don't want to say they're not gonna grow out of that like kind of line of thought,
But they might.
they might. But if that's just keep being pushed on them, then
Yeah.
Yeah, because
know.
of the celebrity that surrounds it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
So,
a good point.
you know.
the alleged issues.
Right. Also, as soon as you put the Warrens in, I'm sorry, you kind of lose a lot of
Credibility.
credibility to
Yeah.
me because the Warrens were also very well known for kind of like making shit up. Also, I want to say it was one of the houses. I think it was the one from like a haunting in Connecticut, but I could be mistaken on that
Yeah,
one.
that was the first. Well, I mean, if you watch the Conjuring movies, the first.
It
house.
may have been that one where they had, you know, like there was a guy who wrote the book, and the writer of the book was interviewing the family, and he was like, these people, their stories are all fucking different. Nothing's lining up. Nothing's making sense.
Everything's a lie.
I don't think they're telling the truth.
Probably weren't.
They weren't. It's like, I don't think they're telling the truth. What do you want me to do here? Ed Warren told him, oh, they're all crazy. Just make it up.
Wow.
So again, this is why I have the feelings I have about the Warrens. Also,
Super
a
fun.
And
lot
why
of-
you have the feelings you have about the Amityville Horror House.
yeah.
Well, that and also, like, you know, just Long Island.
Listen, I was born and raised in Suffolk County, and
I feel bad for you.
I fucking hate it. You know, it's funny though, because a lot of people are like, "Really, you're from Long Island?" I'm like, "Unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
I'm like, sorry.
sorry." Apparently, I don't have the accent.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Well, some people are like, "Why don't you say it like that? What do you mean?" Like,
What the fuck you mean? What do I mean?
Yeah. Well,
I want you to say
apparently-
Long Island.
Yeah. No. Apparently, I'm supposed to say it like Long Island.
Suffolk?
Yeah, like Long Island, and I'm like, ew.
Honestly,
I wish I heard what sound that was.
I lived like kind of on the border of Long
That's
Island
me
and
screaming
Queens.
what? But as Blitzo.
You know,
It's what?
and I'll say this: it's actually that accent isn't as common as most people think it is.
I think
and
it's
I feel like it's a personality trait that people choose to have.
I think it's also a Suffolk thing. I think the farther out east you go, the more you get it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so many people that I know that very much over exaggerate it. Granted,
Oh, especially if they have a spray tan and they
yeah.
have
Gym tan laundry.
yeah.
Yeah.
That they usually are going to be wearing like pink, like, you know, like the Victoria's Secret like pink branded clothes.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Juicy couture, but only if it's like, but that was
The
only up until
velour
like
tracksuit.
Yeah.
yeah. If bonus points for like the fucking little like dog in the fucking bag. Oh, and they're probably Irish, Italian, or both.
Hey.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Long Islanders, okay? Not the Queens ones. Y'all
All
are
right.
cool.
I'm like,
I technically didn't grow up in Queens. How do you feel about that?
Yeah,
It's fine. It's fine. Can we please talk about the house?
Also, you don't have a spray tan.
Thank
I'm
God.
fucking Irish. Of course I'm not. You put a spray tan on me, I'm gonna look like the orange mango.
Okay, but have you seen the Long Island Irish girls with the fucking spray tans? It's
Yeah.
scary. They look like Oompa Loompas.
That's what I was about to say. Get out of my brain. Oompa loompa doopity doo.
I guess we're still on topic. We're roasting Long Island.
Fuck you. I mean, honestly, considering the fact that this, like, everything that we're talking about, it could or could not be true. We don't know. I wasn't even born.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
definitely
This
were.
happened 10 years before I was born.
My dad was 10 years old when this happened.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
And my dad had not even stepped foot on Long Island yet. He was still in Queens.
I mean, seriously, we're talking about how these people moved into the house. They knew some of the history, and they were just like, about like spooky shit that came happening, and then they're like immediately just go to these like Catholic priests and ask for all sorts of blessings and shit on the house.
So anyway, let's get into what spooky shit was happening.
Yes, I would like to know
All right.
all the spooky shit that allegedly happened.
So George Lutz was known to wake up at 3:15 in the morning every morning.
Yep.
Which is around the time that the murders took place.
Okay.
Also, a lot of people. Also, what is interesting is a lot of people said that George Lutz did resemble Ronald DeFeo Jr.
Yes, I heard that.
There was
There was a similarity.
There was a resemblance. So that keep that in mind.
physically, he looked a little bit like the dude.
Yeah.
A little bit.
They had very similar features.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, most brunettes from Long Island all look the same.
Oh my God, the gene pool is rough. And also, it was the 70s, and I feel like you had a lot.
Everybody
of
had the same fucking haircut.
the same haircut, the same facial hair. It was a lot of the same style. It was the fucking 70s. Yeah. And then there was in general there was a lot of strange odors.
Okay, you're living in Long Island next to
Again.
a canal.
Yeah, you're gonna smell strange shit, guys. Sorry. Cold spot. They would experience cold spots, which
You can get them in my house too.
yeah.
We were just cold enough that I had to put on the fucking heater.
But like it was the cold spots in certain areas. Like, oh hey, here's a cold spot. Now I'm warm 2 steps over here. Go back here, it's cold. 2 steps to the left, it's cold. Like I know. Like that's a thing that's like paranormal investigators be like, oh, cold spot. But
As
I'm
an
like,
indicator, yeah.
I know that, but like
Yeah.
I never really liked the whole cold spot, hot spot kind of thing with that, because it's like, yes, temperatures will get affected when the paranormal are around, but not to the extreme that they claim it does.
yeah, like I don't think it's like it should be a like go-to indicator, but it could be like
It's an indicator that something could happen or is prone to happening.
I feel like if there's like other things going on,
yeah.
like then you can kind of consider it. But if it's like that's the only thing, then you could
All
probably try to write it off.
So far we're talking about a dude that woke up at the same time every
Okay.
morning
Yeah.
for 28 days straight. We're talking about cold spots in an old house. We're talking about strange smells.
We also have green slime oozing out of the walls and keyholes. This was a fun one. Ooh. Yeah, apparently the slime also would ooze out of the walls.
Gross.
Yeah.
I mean, what is our generation now? The little kids, what are they? Gen Z?
Your Gen Z.
No, we're Gen
After-
Z.
after
After
me.
us is Gen Alpha, and I want to yeet them all into
I
the
was going to
fucking
say
sunset.
Gen Alpha would be excited about free slime.
Ew.
As a millennial, I sit there and I stare at all of you and go, "Bleh." Fuck you both.
See, there was some.
So
more.
green slime, which again, okay, I can't really explain that one away, but like
if they were actually experiencing the green slime.
if they were actually
And
experiencing
another one was they would just have like a lot of flies. Like they would just be
Okay.
like flies fucking everywhere.
Okay, that happens even in my
Again-
house that happens in summertime. Like
Oh my God, I had a wasp infestation in my parents' house.
like yeah,
like,
no.
Like you would just get bugs, bro.
You just like I had a wasp nest actually outside of my front door. Because
Yeah.
they built it in the little awning. They built a fucking huge nest in the awning right above my fucking front door. And we couldn't figure out where the fuck they were coming from for the longest time. Until I saw them coming in and out of one of the cracks in the awning. And then I had to call an exterminator. So a large amount of flies is one thing. Also, we're dealing in Long Island and a canal. There's probably dead things
in the canal.
Yeah.
in the
for
canal,
sure.
or even like, you know, you ever, God forbid, get a raccoon or a possum in your crawl space.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get, again,
they're
flies.
gonna die.
Also, like, again, this is Long Island, especially like by the water and stuff. And they moved in 13 months after the murder, so they moved in winter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna have like local wildlife, like squirrels and shit, going into the fucking house and like the attic and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably end up, Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. My phone just did something weird.
But so like,
It's
if
the
if a
ghost.
wild if a wildlife goes in there and dies, you're gonna get flies around it. Like that's just kind of how this stuff
Yeah.
works. But anyway, some other fun stuff that happened. Other paranormal activity, including a nearby garage door opening and closing by itself.
Oh,
Did they not have automatic garage door openers back then?
I don't know if that was a
No,
thing
I
in the
don't
70s.
think I don't think that
was a thing.
It would need to be like lifted up and then brought back down.
There
It
had
would
to
be
be
manual.
something else, though.
No, I think that the
No.
fancy people had automatic door openers back then. I think that was a fancy thing.
Would you have to like get out of your car and like put the code in and then it would lift?
No, there was
No.
like a little remote that you would keep attached to the top of your visor in your car.
Yeah,
and you
they
just
still
click
have
it,
them.
and it would open
see,
it up.
Sometimes I'm amazed by what they had in like the 70s.
See, the 70s feels a lot further away than like it.
It's 50
actually
years
is.
ago.
50 years ago, girl.
I know, but like when you think about it, like timeline wise, it's not like it was all black and white.
No, there was color.
Exactly. So I think that's what like we often forget about. Like I know I do. Like I think it's so much further away than it really was.
Considering the fact that I was born in 1985. And that is coming up in a month. As of January 1st, it'll be
Wee.
40 years ago.
It's okay. Because guess what? That year has a bomb ass song named after it. 1985 by Bowling for Soup.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm looking at you like it's not that good, though.
I do. Fuck
Do
you. I
love
like
that
that song. That song got me through middle school, okay?
My mom just loved that song so much because she just felt like she really related with the main character in the song.
Oh, my God.
Because she used to be like, because I drive a minivan. I went, yeah, mom.
It's a good for you, Mom.
Stop it.
But so okay, we had the garage doors
All right,
yeah.
so the garage door.
that may or may not could have had an
It could have
automatic
been like a
door
glitchy like door opener.
could have.
Oh, this is more of a fun one. Spirit knocking a knife down in the kitchen.
Ooh. No, thank you.
Spoopy.
We just had a spirit knock down something off my fucking table right here. And at first I thought it was one of the cats, and then I realized none of them is over there. So,
I mean, who knows?
meh. It literally also could be because I'm bouncing around and like I hit the table and
You
it just
weren't
went.
bouncing that much at the moment though when that happened.
Shit happens.
Who knows? Who knows?
Pum, pum, pum.
And then this was
Allegedly.
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 And then allegedly this one's one of my favorites. This one I remember.
Is it the stigmata?
This is the pig-like creature that with red eyes I would stare them down through the window.
That's in the movie.
Yeah, that's in the movie.
That's in the first movie
So
with Josh Brolin.
I only ever saw the Ryan Reynolds movie.
It's in there too.
Never.
Yeah.
It is in there.
It is in there.
I feel like I dissociated my way through half of that, but I think I'm pretty sure I was also like stoned when I watched it. I was definitely stoned when I watched that.
pig. It's a demon pig.
The only one I've seen is the original one with Josh Brolin, and,
I saw
that was enough for me.
I saw the Ryan Reynolds one.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Okay,
You know,
so
like, I saw the Ryan Reynolds one, and I was like, I like Ryan Reynolds.
yeah,
I would tap that.
I also would tap Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds, if you want to
can't-
come onto this podcast.
You see, I don't think I can consider Ryan Reynolds a hall pass because I would tap that, but it would have to be in a three-way with my husband. He wants in on that one.
Yeah.
Fair. Fair. I know plenty of boys that I'm very good friends with that literally will sit there and be like, yup.
I mean,
Wait,
yeah.
that just made me think of something, like one slight sidebar. Did your husband tell you about the cosplay plan he wants to do?
Which one?
I'm gonna be Deadpool, you're gonna be Wolverine, and he's gonna be Nice Pool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would require him wearing a wig.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he'd grow. Well, at the time he had longer hair,
That's
but now
true,
he's gonna have
that's
to wear a
true.
wig. He'll do it.
Yeah, because he also like love Cam does not have enough hair.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
He would either grow his hair out and And just for he would grow his hair out just for that.
For the top knot.
He would.
I know.
He's crazy enough for it.
It would
All
just
right.
be so funny. But okay, so we had this pig-like creature.
Red eye with glowing red eyes staring him
glowing
down.
red eyes.
And
What
then
other things did they claim were
and
there?
this is another one that again, like I feel like you've seen this a few times with the Warrens where people were claiming to levitate.
Yeah, a lot of levitating in Warren cases.
Kathy levitated, and also the kids were supposedly levitating together in bed.
Yeah, and then don't forget that they were also complaining that one of the fathers that, they got to come over there,
Oh yeah, the priest.
Father Mancuso,
That is a Long Island name.
was a lawyer, a judge of the Catholic court, and a psychotherapist who lived at the local Sacred Heart Rectory. He was arrived to perform the blessing while they were unpacking their belongings on the afternoon of December 18th, 1985, and went into the building to carry out the rites. When he flicked the first holy water and began to pray, he heard a masculine voice demand that he gets out. And when leaving the house, Father Mancuso did not mention the incident to either George or Kathy. On December 24th, Christmas Eve, Father Mancuso called George Lutz to advise him to stay out of the second floor room where he heard the mysterious voice, the former bedroom of Mark and John Matthew DeFeo, that Kathy had planned to turn into a sewing room. But the call was supposedly cut short by static. Following his visit to the house, Father Mancuso also allegedly, there's that word again, developed a high fever and blisters on his hands similar to stigmata.
That's a big one, too.
At first, George and Kathy experienced nothing unusual in the house. Talking about their experiences subsequently, they reported that it was as if they were living in a different house.
Because this stuff always waits a little bit to sink
was
its teeth in.
Yeah, because it was by mid-January 1976 where they tried another house blessing that they experienced would turn out to be like their final night in the house.
Yeah.
You didn't even make it to the end of January, brah.
Yeah, no, for real. Like they didn't even they only made it a February. They didn't even make it a full a proper month.
They declined to give a full account of the events that took place on this occasion, describing them as too frightening.
That's actually what I was about to ask. I was
You
like, did
wimps,
they
we wanna
ever
know.
say what happened?
But then again, people were kind of like wimpier back then. Sidebar. Cam and I tried watching The Exorcist, and I passed out. I was sober, and I just was so fucking bored I passed out. Cam was like, "This isn't scary." But then Cam was also like, you know what? People would be scared by this back then.
Back then, yeah, because freaking
we didn't have that level of special
You didn't have the internet.
effects.
But the other thing is, Cam's thing was because you have to also understand, Cam grew up Catholic. Cam was an altar boy back in the day.
so was Diginan.
Yeah, so and Cam was like,
Diginan went to seminary school.
oh damn, Cam went to Catholic school before he moved out to Long Island. Yeah, so, but it was funny because he's like, I can see this being scary to super Catholic people, but if you're someone who was grew up super Catholic and then isn't, this movie's more funny. And I'm like,
I mean, I thought it was hysterical.
you see,
But
I need to kind of try watching it, but skip to the good part.
Well, okay, so here's the thing about that. We're not going to go off on a tangent, but here's the thing when it comes to any of these movies that came out in the 70s and in the 60s and all those things, because back then that was a very real panic. Satanic panic was a very real thing back then. So the Amityville Horror actually does touch on that.
It does play into that.
It does.
They did say, some people do say that George Lutz did dabble in the occult. Supposedly. But they also fucking say that for anyone who said
he was a
experiences-
non-practicing Methodist. That's not dabbling in the occult.
Yeah. But again, they're going to say that about anyone who isn't a mainline Christian.
Yeah, but they also did claim that the phenomena followed them into Kathy's mother's house in Deer Park.
Okay, well, that's Deer Park. Deer Park is fucking cursed. You ever been to Deer Park? Fuck Deer Park. I'm sorry to call out specifically Deer Park on Long Island, but no, Deer Park is cursed. That train station, cursed.
And that's something that is, so I'm very into paranormal, but religion-based horror.
Yeah.
I do actually find it very frightening. And I personally, I love the Exorcist movie. I don't necessarily find it funny. It does scare me, but not to the level that people of the 70s would be scared of it. Like my mom says that movie scared her so much she like had nightmares for months. She couldn't watch it ever again. And then I got her to watch The Exorcist show on Fox, which we loved, and I miss it oh so very much. But that's another big thing that's in a lot of these demonic cases is demons don't cling to places. They cling to people.
Maybe.
So a lot of like this idea of, yeah, they followed them to Deer Park. If you're looking at it through that lens of they're claiming there's a demonic presence there, that actually makes a lot of sense.
If it's the Warrens only believed in demons. Like,
yes, correct.
They didn't believe in like regular ghosts. That's another thing. Like a slight sidebar, but it's related. I promised. I did actually grow up watching a lot of like ghost, like paranormal investigative like TV shows.
My name is Zach Bagans. I didn't believe in ghosts until I came face to face with one.
Ghost Hunters is the best one.
No, Ghost Adventures
are
is
the
fucking
best.
great. I'm sorry. I love Ghost Adventures.
Ghost
okay?
Adventures is hysterical.
It's so fucking funny. Yo.
Because every single episode, Zach is possessed.
Zach is
Every
possessed.
single
Yo,
time.
there's always one room that is so extra cursed and like
I
someone
can
fucking
feel
dies
it.
in there.
I can
Yo, it's
feel
like, hey,
it all
there's a super
around me.
violent ghost in this room. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put
make it
Aaron.
angry.
No, we're gonna put Aaron in that room alone.
Oh no.
Wait. No. Hold on. Let me see if I got something for this.
I didn't believe in ghosts until I came face to face with one. My name is Zach Bagans.
And fun fact,
Sorry, I
Zach
love
Bagans actually bought the Warren Museum
He did.
with all their haunted objects.
That does not surprise me.
And haunted objects get sent to Zach Bagans all
the
the
time.
fucking
Yeah.
time.
Well,
But
there's
yeah.
another guy that does haunted objects, and I can't remember his name right now. But he was an older gentleman. He did feature on Ghost Hunters quite a bit,
Ghost Hunters is my favorite.
which was a really good show. Taps,
They're the best. I love Taps.
Yeah.
They were good. They're great. But this older guy, he ended up doing a show. I think it was like which was based around haunted objects.
Yeah, it was like an oddity
But
show.
he was he also had opinions on the Warrens. Because the Warrens were always like, oh, it's demons. And he's like, it's not all fucking demons.
Yeah.
He was straight up like, it's not always demons. Like there are, like, sure, they're out there, but a lot of times it's just spirits.
Yeah.
Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy.
That is one of my
Hey,
favorite things.
demons. What's going on, buddy?
Hey.
I can't help myself. I love these fucking
But
voice changers.
yeah,
It's
I do
fun.
love. I can't think of those guys that do it. They're hysterical. They're like, "Hey, demons, it's me, your
Oh,
boy."
Whenever
BuzzFeed
Aaron
Unsolved.
gets freaked
They're on
out.
BuzzFeed Unsolved. That's what it is. I did used to love that. Me and my friend Adam, whose birthday it is.
Listen.
Happy birthday! But
I am a practicing witch. Obviously, you know I believe in everything that is paranormal because I've experienced it.
I mean, I see dead people.
I
And
mean-
I'm saying that, like, genuinely, not just to quote The Sixth Sense.
Right. But like again, I've experienced things, you know, I've seen things, I see things, you see things,
Yeah.
like, you know, we all scream for ice cream. Hello. But some of these things have been blown up by the Hollywood machine.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is one of them.
oh my God, how many? We did a count of Amityville movies.
Last first cast, we did.
And the first one where we touched on this.
So many.
We were in the double digits.
You also
and then
gotta-
there's references. Like they reference it in The Conjuring too. There is
Yep.
a reference to Amityville and Chucky.
Yep.
Which I think that's my favorite like Amityville reference.
You guys got to understand also, there are so many books. There are books.
Yeah. So many.
The Amityville Horror wasn't even a thing until it was written by Jay Anson.
yeah.
You know, because Tam Mossman, an editor at the publishing house Prentice Hall, introduced George and Kathy to Jay Anson. The Lutzes did not even work directly with Anson, but submitted around 45 hours of tape recorded recollections to him, which he uses the basis of his book. Basis.
Which means he-
not transcribing what happened, basis.
Which means he went ahead and, embellished.
Exactly.
Fictionalized, probably added some fun
10
stuff.
million copies of this book has been sold in its numerous editions. And it's even said to have he even took the title, The Amityville Horror, based on The Dunwich Horror by H.P. Lovecraft, which was published in 1929.
That checks. That checks.
And then you gotta also understand, there's also a series of books based on this house.
Yeah. A whole separate series from that book, The Amityville Horror.
So we got the story of the Amityville Horror was continued in a series of books by John G. Jones, with the Amityville Horror Part 2, which came out in 1982, Amityville, the final chapter, which came out in 1985, Amityville, the Evil Escapes in 1988, and Amityville, the Horror Returns in 1989. Then, in 1991, Amityville, the Nightmare Continues by Robin Carl was published.
So I was like, yo, fuck this one Long Island town, I guess.
Yep, and then we even got another guy, Hans Holzer, who wrote 3 books relating to the story: Murder in Amityville, The Amityville Curse, and The Secret of Amityville. Murder in Amityville was actually used as the basis of the 1982 film Amityville 2, The Possession, and the 1990 film The Amityville Curse was based on the book of the same name. William Weber, who was the defense attorney for Ronald DeFeo Jr. at his trial, recommended Holzer to DeFeo in 1979 as a way for DeFeo to obtain a book deal telling his side of the story. The 1983 film Amityville 3D was also turned into a novel by Gordon McGill, Mentally Ill in Amityville, a factual account of the case by Will Savive, published in 2008.
Yeah.
Tell me again how this is not made up.
Yeah, no.
Please.
They're just they just took it. They're taking it and running with it. Like, that is what has happened. It's been just these people. Like, people are just taking the month. Like, they're taking one tragedy, and then the month-long escapades of the Lutz family in this house, and just running with it 50 years later.
There's so many disputes over this.
Yeah.
Let's see. They got Jim and Barbara Cromartie, who rejected the claims of physical damage to doors, locks, and windows. They bought the house for $55,000, which is the equivalent of $277,000 in 2023 in March of 1977. Mm-hmm. Barbara Cromartie argued that they appeared to be the original items and had not been repaired. The couple also revealed that the quote-unquote red room was a small closet in the basement and would have been known to the Lutzes because it was not concealed in any way. Local Shinnecock Indians rejected the claim made in Chapter 11 of the book that the house was built on a site where the tribe had once abandoned the mentally ill and the dying.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Fucked. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know about all the book stuff.
Oh, yeah, but they also rejected, researchers Rick Moran and Peter Jordan rejected the claim of the cloven hoof prints in the snow on January 1st of 1976. Their investigation revealed that there had been no snowfall at the time. No neighbor reported anything unusual during the time that the Lutzes were living there. Police officers are depicted visiting the house in the book and the 1979 film, but records show that the Lutzes never called the police, and there was no bar in Amityville called the Witch's Brew at the time.
That's also funny because there is a Witch's Brew on Long Island, but it is not a bar.
And it's a coffee house.
It is a
It's so
coffee house in a completely
place.
different county.
Yep.
It's funny.
Personally, like, I do think it's something that they definitely like ran away with and kept running with. Mm-hmm. But I'm not necessarily willing to say that nothing paranormal is in that house.
Dude! George Lutz maintained that the events in the book were mostly true. In June of 1979, they took a polygraph test relating to their experiences at the house. The polygraph tests were performed by Chris Gugas and Michael Rice, who were reportedly among the top 5 polygraph experts in America. The results, in Rice's opinion, did not indicate lying. However, skeptics have pointed out that polygraph tests are notoriously unreliable and that there is little evidence that a polygraph test can accurately detect lies.
Yeah, that's the thing. Polygraphs are very easy to
I can lie.
Yeah,
if you know how
polygraphs
to
are very
ace
easy
them,
to bullshit your way through.
You can ace them.
Yeah.
They
They
stick
said
a tack
that
in your shoe and step on.
it says right here, James Cromartie, who bought the house in 1977 and lived there with his wife Barbara for 10 years, commented nothing weird ever happened except for people coming by because of the book and the movie.
Yeah.
Nothing weird ever happened in that house. So, hoax or true story?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
I don't want to say one way or the other.
I lean more. I mean, considering
Maybe they were on mushrooms.
you know what? It was the 70s.
only.
It was the
It was the
70s.
It is the 70s. They could have all been fucking toasted. You know.
You never know.
Shit, man. They could have been. Mine. There was a lot of mine.
I would think I would.
on there.
Yo, listen. If I was on shrooms, I would see a red-eyed pig monster.
Yeah, I tried shroom chocolate once.
No, thank you. I won't touch that shit.
It was a tiny bit in fucking Godiva, so it wasn't like the strong stuff,
Fair enough.
Yeah, but
I
still won't touch it.
experienced life without depression for about 4 hours, and it was nice.
Yeah. But no, okay, so personal opinion. Do I think it could happen? Yes. Do I think it did happen? No.
I mean, for me personally, with the evidence that we have, and also just like the circumstances and the people surrounding the events and the investigation, I lean more towards hoax.
Yeah.
But again, could there be, could there be weird shit that has happened, like paranormal stuff? Absolutely. Any place with any building with a history can have paranormal stuff attached to it.
Of course.
Any building, any object, any person can have paranormal, entities attached to it.
Fair.
But I don't think this is one of those times where it's all paranormal 100% of the time.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly hoax, if not all hoax.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, like I think what's hard for me is I always kind of view these things a little bit from the perspective of if something insane like that happened to me, would I want everyone to not believe me? Which is why it's hard for me to say yes or no. Do I think something horrible happened in that house? Yes.
Because it did.
Do I think that there's probably some unanswered spirits that are there and don't know what to do and are trapped? Yes, I do believe that. Because I feel when we leave this earth, we leave a lot of our energy behind with it. So I do believe that. And I do, especially when there's children involved, I also am a little bit more inclined to not be as skeptical.
Well, that's because you like kids.
Because I like kids. And I've worked with kids for a very long time. And
fuck them kids.
I will always be concerned about their well-being. And I would love to think that their parents wouldn't put them through that just to get money. But I also can't say that parents wouldn't, because I've also seen it in children I've watched and their own backgrounds. So I think specifically the Lutz parents' accounts and all of the following accounts are probably very, very bloated. And I don't believe their claims, but I do think to an extent there probably is a negative energy in that house.
Oh, I have no doubt of that.
And that there's definitely, it's probably maybe a little haunted, but not to this like Hollywood phenomena.
That's what I think.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that the Amityville Horror itself is a hoax. I do not think that the events there didn't leave a psychic scar.
Yeah.
Right.
If that's the better way to put it, is I wouldn't say that it is haunted by the spirits of the deceased. I would say, because also I've never been there, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But also I would say that the psychic scar that was
Right.
left on that property is probably long lasting.
But I think also it could be something that's just fed into by people.
For sure. You give any type of anything like that, your power and energy, it's gonna take a life of its own.
I guess us doing this episode kind of feeds into that a bit. So.
Hey, it's the 50th anniversary. It's what we do.
It's
Yeah.
true.
But we should cut it off.
Yeah.
Because we've talked everything that we talked about. We've given our personal opinions. There's really nothing else to talk about because honestly, we don't want to encourage anyone who is in the Long Island, Queens, New York area going to this
Please
this
don't.
place.
Leave these people alone.
Yeah, no, exactly. Leave them alone. You know what? Again, there's movies, there's documentaries. Watch the episode of Chucky that it's in.
You can watch the Conjuring series. I always highly suggest it. I enjoy it.
There's tons of
Google is free.
There's tons of films that were done. There's tons of documentaries. There's tons of books, as I mentioned. You can just do your own fucking research. Google's free.
Exactly. You can do your research, watch the movies, read the books if you so desire, but don't go to the house. Leave the family living there alone.
Leave the family that's still alive that did live there alone.
Exactly. Leave the family alone and just again, have some fucking respect for the dead.
It's okay to have morbid curiosity, but don't
encourage breaking and entering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't encourage that here at the gate. But
No.
we're going to go now. We're going to go.
Yeah.
Because we've said all we needed to say.
Yes.
Right, girls? Right, ladies?
I think we
so.
good.
We good?
We good.
Stay tuned for the next one because we are still running through all of your episodes that you did choose because we are always ready to listen to our loyal fans in Phoenix Nation. And what's the next one that's coming out, Lav?
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about that one. Y'all are going to just really scratch my hyperfixation brain there.
Yes. So stay tuned for that episode coming out. And then also stay tuned for our interview with William Russell. That is going to be on video.
Yes, there will be video.
There will be video. It will be up on our YouTube. It will be up everywhere that I have the ability to put that. So check it out. But on that note, say bye.
Bye.
Bye.